Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because today is the day when I am announcing the 1001 book club picks for 2024. I started the book club a couple of years ago. This will be my third year where I'm selecting books off of the 1001 books you must read before you die list and hoping that I have some people that want to read along with me for the book club. What is different about this year? I'm very excited. This year is going to be different because I have a co-host. I am absolutely ecstatic about this. I had reached out to this person earlier, about a month ago, and asked if they had any interest in co-hosting a 1001 book club, and they so graciously said yes. So my co-host for the 1001 book club will be the wonderful Britta Bowler. If you're not familiar with Britta, I will leave her channel linked in the description below. You should absolutely go and check her out. We met probably about 3 months after I started doing my channel, maybe earlier than that, and we have done a number of buddy reads together and just really have a wonderful time reading together. She is such a wonderful buddy reader. So the reason why I asked Britta if she would co-host the 1001 book club this year is one of the complaints that people have, or the criticisms that people have about the 1001 books you must read before you die list, is that it is very heavily male authors, represented by male authors, and that is a bit of a struggle. So what Britta has been doing is curating a 1001 list of her own that is solely with women authors, and she's been working on that, I think, for maybe a year or so, and she has a number of books that she has both read and a number of books that haven't been read yet. So what we did is we went through both unread lists for mine and for hers and came up with a list of 10 books that were common to both lists. So you get the best of both worlds if you want to be reading from Britta's 1001 list of women authors and titles, and then my 1001 reading challenge that I have created for myself. This is wonderful. I hope you consider joining the book club. The first book won't be until February. I do that intentionally to give people time to kind of get going in the year. And there is never a pick in August because I am gone for a good portion of August, and I like to have that month just to kind of rest and relax and not have to worry about it. Our channels will be set up for all of the book club picks, so you're welcome to go out to that. I will leave that linked in the description below for you as well. Just know there's no requirement to being on Discord to join the book club. It's only to read the book at the same month that we're reading it. Britta and I both are not necessarily Discord people. I'm not good at it, even though it's my Discord channel. But if you would like to go out there and start a conversation about these different books, you're more than welcome to do so. So that is all, I think, all of the public service announcements. Super excited to announce the all-female author list for the book club. It's exciting. I'm excited. All right. So the first book, which will be in February, is actually going to be this one, The Princess of Cleves by Madame de Lafayette. This is interesting, was originally published anonymously, and then it's largely believed that Madame Lafayette is the actual author of this particular book. It was published in 1678. So this is the oldest book that we have picked for the book club. And the back of this one, I will do my best, but y'all, oh my gosh, the font on the backs of these are not the easiest to read. So, poised between the fading world of chivalric romance and a new psychological realism, Madame de Lafayette's novel of passion and self-deception marks a turning point in the history of the novel. When it first appeared anonymously in 1678 in the heyday of French classicism, it aroused fierce controversy among critics and readers, in particular for the extraordinary confession which forms the climax of the story. Having long been considered a classic, it is now regarded as a landmark in the history of women's writing. Okay, so I didn't give us much about what the story was about, which is, I'm not opposed to that. I kind of like going into books blind a little bit, but that is the first selection. Nice and short for February. I think that works. The second book, which is for March, is The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. This book was originally published in 1928, and that is fairly incredible given what this is about. So the back of this particular book says, Stephen is an ideal child of aristocratic parents, a fencer, a horse rider, and a keen scholar. Stephen grows to be a war hero, a best-selling writer, and a loyal, protective lover. But Stephen is a woman, and her lovers are women. As her ambitions drive her and society confines her, Stephen is forced into desperate actions. I am so intrigued by this. I had actually never heard of this one before. I think I'd seen this cover in places, but absolutely incredible. But written in 1928, so that is for March. April's book is Hideous Kinky by Esther Freud. This is an autobiographical work from what I understand. It was originally published in 1992. You can see the lovely Kate Winslet on, that is Kate. Yeah, you can see the lovely Kate Winslet on the cover because, of course, there was an adaptation of this particular book. It was originally published in 1992. The back of this one says, Hideous Kinky follows two little English girls, the 5-year-old narrator and B, her 7-year-old sister, as they struggle to establish some semblance of normal life on a journey through Europe with their hippie mother in the mid-1960s. Once in Marrakesh, Mum immerses herself in Sufism and her quest for personal fulfillment, while the daughters rebel, the older by attempting to recreate her English life, the younger by turning her hopes for a father on a most unlikely candidate. All right then. So Hideous Kinky, that one should be really good. We're kind of mixing a little bit longer with a little bit shorter, hopefully, so it makes it reasonable for people to be able to read these. The May pick will be, oh boy, I'm worried about this one because this is not an author I get along with very well, but it is The Waves by Virginia Woolf. I have read 3, I think, Virginia Woolf, and DNF'd 1 Virginia Woolf, so this one will be a bit of a trial for me. I recognize that and understand that. But the back of this one says, tracing the lives of a group of friends, The Waves follows their development from childhood to middle age. While social events, individual achievements, and disappointments form its narrative, the novel is most remarkable for the rich poetic language that expresses the inner life of its characters and their aspirations, their triumphs and regrets, their awareness of unity and isolation, and their questioning of the meaning of life itself. Perhaps more than any of Woolf's novels, The Waves conveys the endless complexities of human experience. Well, I mean, I'm thrilled that I'll be knocking another Virginia Woolf novel off of the list, and I'm so glad it's part of the book club because I struggle with Woolf, and I'm really hoping that this helps me. So this is the pick for May of 2024. All right, the pick for June is Love's Work by Gillian Rose. This book was originally published in 1995. I do like these NYRB covers. I think they're really, really pretty. I love that iconic square in the center of it. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Okay, what is this one about? Love's Work is at once a memoir and a work of philosophy written by English philosopher Gillian Rose as she was dying of cancer. It is a book about both the fallibility and the endurance of love that becomes real and lasting through an ongoing reckoning with its own limitations. Rose looks back on her childhood, the complications of her parents' divorce and her dyslexia, and her deep and divided feelings about what it means to be Jewish. She tells the stories of several friends also laboring under the sentence of death from the sometimes conflicting vantage points of her own and her friends' tales. She seeks because the work can never be complete. To be alive means to be incomplete. Okay, a distinctive outlook on life, one that will do justice to our yearning both for autonomy and the connection to others. With droll self-knowledge and with unsettling wisdom, Rose has written a beautiful, tender, and intricately wrought survival kit packed with necessary but unanswerable questions. Wow, okay. I mean, this is a nice, good length for one as well, but I still really, really love this particular cover on the front of this one. All right, July. July is the book that was published the most recently, and it is The Flamethrowers by Rachel Kushner. I have seen this cover before, but I don't know anything about this particular book. It was published in 2013. Very recent in comparison to the other books that we have on this particular list. But this book, it says, the year is 1975, and Reno, so called because of the place of her birth, has come to New York intent on turning her fascination with motorcycles and speed into art. Her arrival coincides with an explosion of activity in that world, and Reno meets a group of dreamers and raconteurs who submit her to a sentimental education of sorts. Ardent, vulnerable, and bold, she begins an affair with an artist named Sandro Valera, the estranged scion of an Italian tire and motorcycle empire. When they visit Sandro's family home in Italy, betrayal sends Reno reeling into a clandestine undertow. Oh, okay. Wow, I do love this cover though. Look at that. I think that's amazing. I can't wait to read this one. I think this is going to be a really interesting one. Like I said, it's the most recent one, and I have seen this cover up, I think, on the shelves of Barnes & Noble, if I remember correctly. But that is the pick for July. No pick for August. September's pick will end up being The Last September by Elizabeth Bowen. Another just absolutely gorgeous cover. Oh, I just think that's really, really beautiful. This book was originally published in 1929, so we're back in the 20s again. And this will be my second book that I have read by Elizabeth Bowen. The back of this one says, The Last September is Elizabeth Bowen's timeless portrayal of a young woman's coming of age in a brutalized time and place, where the ordinariness of life floats like music over the impending doom of history. In 1920, at their country home in County Cork, Sir Richard Naylor and his wife, Lady Myra, and their friends maintain a skeptical attitude towards the events going on around them. But behind the facade of tennis parties and army camp dances, all know that the end is approaching. The end of the British rule in the south of Ireland. Oh, wow, okay. And with it, the demise of a way of life that has survived for centuries. Their ward, Loris Farquhar, attempts to live her own life and gain her freedom from the dying class her elders vainly defend. This Last September depicts the tensions between love and the longing for freedom, between tradition and the terrifying prospect of independence, political, sexual, and spiritual. Okay, wow, that sounds kind of heavy actually, but that is The Last September. In September, why not? By Elizabeth Bowen. October's pick is a Victober pick. It is The Real Charlotte by Edith Somerville and Martin Ross. This book was published originally in 1894. We did pick it intentionally with the idea of it being for Victober. And as much as I would love to read a synopsis about what this book is about, the font on the back of this edition is minuscule. I have tried to read it. I get, you can see I'm already doing this, trying to read this font because I can't quite read it. And I make a very scrunchy face when I try. It says, pitting the light-hearted, pretty, and naive Francie Fitzpatrick. Okay, I'm going to stop. It is small. So yeah, I don't know much about this one, much less than any of the others. Even the font in this book, everyone, it's tiny. So I'm probably going to have to get a different edition in order to be able to actually read this one. But this is the October pick. November's pick is Anagrams by Lori Moore. Again, a very cool cover on the front of this one. This book was originally published in 1986, and the back of this one says, Gerard sits fully clothed in his empty bathtub and pines for Benna. Neighbors in the same apartment building, they share a wall, and Gerald listens for the sound of her toilet flushing. Oh no! Gerald loves Benna, and then Benna loves Gerald. She listens to him play piano. She teaches poetry and sings at nightclubs. As their relationship ebbs and flows through reality and imagination, Lori Moore paints a captivating, innovative portrait of men and women in love and not in love. The first novel from a master of contemporary American fiction, Anagrams is a revelatory tale of love gained and lost. Cool. So that is November. And December, we picked a very short book. And I did suggest this one for December intentionally because I know December is packed. And so I wanted to have one that was fairly easy, hopefully, to read. And that is Life and Death of Harriet Frayne by May Sinclair. This book was originally published in 1922. But look how small this is. I mean, this is perfect for December when I'm trying to finish up my 1001 countdown for the year. This will be perfect. I can't wait for that. But the back of this one says, a moral fable about the narrow and starved existence that results from self-sacrifice. This novel traces a Victorian woman's suffocating and stunted life. More than a case history of a underdeveloped individual who chooses loyalty to a friendship over the lure of romance, the story criticizes the value of 19th century middle-class society and the destructiveness that lurks beneath the facade of good manners. Ooh, this is a tough one to read. Less well known today than her contemporaries, Virginia Woolf and Rebecca West, May Sinclair was considered England's most distinguished female novelist in the years preceding World War I. Then it just goes on to talk about the rest of her works. Okay, so yeah, Life and Death of Harriet Frene. I had never heard of this one. So yeah, that's it, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and do a stack. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to try it over here. I'll try it over here. We'll see how I do. Okay, so this is December, Life and Death of Harriet Frene. Anagrams by Lori Moore. The Real Charlotte by Edith Somerville, Martin Ross. The Last September by Elizabeth Bowen. Flamethrowers by Rachel Kushner. Love's Work by Gillian Rose. The Waves by Virginia Woolf. Hideous Kinky by Esther Freud. The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall, and The Princess of Cleves by Madame de Lafayette. Those are the book club picks for 2024. What do you think? Are you excited about reading in these? I hope there's at least one book in this that you will consider picking up and reading with us as we go along through the year. But that is the 1001 book club picks for 2024. I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to put these down. So very, very happy that I have the wonderful Britta Bowler co-hosting. I think we have come up with a great list of female authors for the 1001 book club for 2024. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. If there's any of these that are exciting to you, I'd love to hear that. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.